Good evening, everybody, and thank you so much for coming. And I want to thank the wonderful folks at Ateret Cohanim for this wonderful, wonderful honor. You know, the reason that I'm so fond of the work that Ateret Cohanim does is because of the moral clarity that they exhibit in a world where there's too much murkiness and too much quibbling when it comes to supporting the State of Israel. What Ateret Cohanim represents is an organization and a board that has the courage of their convictions to stand up for what's right, regardless of what might be popular. We're currently operating in a world where sentiment toward Israel has become increasingly hostile, and it's frankly become dangerous. But there is an undeniable truth, and it's a truth that Ateret Cohanim stands for and does so unequivocally. And that is that Jerusalem, including East Jerusalem, ties dating back to the Bible, to the Torah, is the eternal and undivided capital of the State of Israel and the homeland of the Jewish people. They have the courage of their convictions to stand up for what's right on those issues. And the work that the organization does to promote resettlement in East Jerusalem among Am Yisrael is an extraordinary thing, and it ought to be applauded. I fell in love with Israel when I first came to Israel and got to breathe in the amazing air of the Holy Land. And since then, I've been to Israel well over 30 times. I remember when I was studying in the Old City for a year in yeshiva, we were taught about a concept of the Pintel Yid. It's a concept that means that when a Jew is exposed to the Torah for the first time, there's a spark within them that ignites. And I think my Pintel Yid was ignited when my 2 feet first landed on the ground in the State of Israel. As somebody who lived in the Old City for a full year, it enrages me to no end to know that there are folks out there, political leaders, political officials, and activists who decide to take it upon themselves to say that somehow Jews should not be entitled or should not be able to live in the Old City. The Old City, just as Jerusalem, belongs to the Jewish people. Our connection to the Old City and to Yerushalayim dates back to biblical times. And anybody that says otherwise is simply being intellectually dishonest. It's incredibly important that we support lawmakers that are supportive of the State of Israel. We need to be doing a better job of ensuring that our lawmakers hear from us. We need to be doing a better job of not simply writing checks out without first sitting down with those lawmakers. We need to do a better job of encouraging members of our community to partake in the political process in terms of building relationships on Capitol Hill. It's only then that I think we'll really be able to make an impact in terms of the number of lawmakers that'll really stand unequivocally with the State of Israel. Israel advocacy is important on the college campus because the college campus is the breeding ground where the next generation of Americans are developing their viewpoints on political issues and their viewpoints on Israel. And as somebody who, well before starting any of my businesses or even having gone to law school, really took it upon himself to advocate for Israel on the college campus as an activist, I can tell you that the tides have long turned against Israel in terms of how hostile the sentiment is and how hostile the climate is. And it's so important that we ensure that both pro-Israel students on campus feel supported, both morally and otherwise. But it's equally important that we ensure that truthful information and accurate and factual information about Israel is communicated to college students across the nation. The respect that I have for Ateret Cohanim extends well beyond the board of directors and the supporters and all of you out here this evening. but it also extends to those on the ground in the heart of Jerusalem, in East Jerusalem, who are brave and courageous enough to wither the heinous terror attacks and the incredible fear that terrorists try to instill within them for living in what is our Jewish homeland. And I am so excited to go and get to meet some of these same people when I'm next in Israel. Ateret Cohanim is an extraordinary organization, and they deserve our support. And so I thank this wonderful organization for this award.